You just found out about the betrayal, and the world completely fell out from under your feet. Everything you thought you knew, everything you were sure of, the life you thought you were living, it all looks different now. And one of the hardest parts, it's not just that you don't trust him anymore, it's that you don't trust yourself because you feel like you missed it. Something this big was happening right in front of you and you didn't see it. And now some part of you is asking, what does this say about me? What else have I gotten wrong? What else have I been telling myself that isn't true? And then on top of that, everyone around you has an opinion. Your sister thinks you should leave. Your best friend thinks you should try to work it out. Someone else has something to say that's definitely the answer. And all of it is coming at you when you can barely think straight. I want to talk about all of that today, not to tell you what to do, because I'm not going to do that, but because I think you deserve a more than a simple answer to a question that isn't simple at all. I'm Karyn, your should I stay or go relationship coach, and I've worked with women on both sides of this decision, women who stayed, women who left, and women who were somewhere in between for a long time before they knew. Let's get into it. Here's what I want to start with, because I don't think it gets talked about enough. When something like this comes out, you don't just lose trust in him. You really lose trust in yourself because you were there, you were paying attention, or you thought you were, and you thought you knew what was going on in your relationship, and you missed it. And now some part of you is wondering, am I a good judge of character? Have I been naive this whole time? What else am I not seeing clearly? And that question, that one right there, is the most painful part of this because it doesn't just affect how you see him, it affects how you see everything, including yourself. And you second guess his explanations now. Is he telling the truth? Am I being too trusting again? Or am I being paranoid? You second guess your feelings. Am I overreacting? Am I not reacting enough? You don't know what to believe about anything right now. And oh my God, is that exhausting and frustrating? Here's what I want you to hear. This response makes total sense. It is the appropriate response to having the rug pulled out from under you. This is not weakness. This is not being too sensitive or broken. Your sense of reality just got completely disrupted. Of course, you don't know what to trust right now. So I want to say this part really clearly. I have worked with women who have stayed after infidelity and built something really real with their partners. And I've worked with women who have left and built lives that they're genuinely happy in. Both of those outcomes are possible, and I'm not here to tell you which one is right for you because I don't know. Nobody does except you. And here's the other thing. The people in your life who are telling you what to do or what they think you should do, or they're giving you this great advice, they love you. And of course, they're going to have opinions because they care about you. But none of them actually knows what they would do in your situation. Nobody knows that until you're standing in it. We can assume we would do one thing or another, but once you're in the situation, it really changes how you think about the whole thing. So their certainty, however confident it sounds, is not necessarily your answer. And the danger of deciding too quickly in either direction is that can be a decision made from shock and raw emotion, and it's not the same decision as making one from a place of clarity. That doesn't mean you have to wait forever. It doesn't mean you have to wait at all if you already feel confident about what you need to do for yourself. But rushing, if you're not sure, because of pressure from other people or just to make the pain stop, often leads to a decision that you're not confident in later. And you have to feel confident in this decision because you're the one that is going to be living in it. It needs to be yours. So, what gets in the way of this? A few things. Fear of being alone, fear of what leaving means practically, the finances, the kids, the identity shift. All of that is very relevant. And all of that is also going to be different depending on your circumstances. Fear of making the wrong choice and regretting it, fear of staying and it happening again. All of those fears are very real. But fear alone is not going to be a decision-making framework. There's also the outside noise. When everyone around you has a strong opinion, it becomes very hard to hear yourself underneath all of that. And you can start to wonder, is this what I actually want? Or is this just what feels most acceptable right now? Feeling like you're being pushed in one way or another. There's all this self-doubt. And then what we already talked about, when you start to question your own judgment because of this situation itself, then you have this gut feeling about what you want or you think is the right thing, and you start to second guess it. It's much more complicated than people think looking in on it, right? Was that my instinct or was that just fear? Is this what I actually want or am I just reacting? This is why the work of rebuilding self-trust is so important, because you can't make a clear decision from a place of not trusting yourself. Before you can decide about the relationship, you need to reconnect with you. What is important to you right now? Not what you're supposed to think is important, not what the people in your life, your mom, your best friend values, but what do you genuinely believe to be true for you right now? What do you actually want your life to look like? Not just in the next 6 months, in the big picture. And what do you know in your gut underneath all of the noise about this relationship and what's actually possible here? It also depends on the circumstances of this. You may consider finances. You may consider kids. You may consider the circumstances of the infidelity. You may be considering how your partner's approaching this situation after you found out. That can make a big difference to a lot of people. Is he showing up with accountability, compassion, and empathy, which are the three things I always tell someone they need to be giving their partner if they've been unfaithful and they're trying to make the relationship work again? So all of this is really important information for you to be gathering and paying attention to and seeing how you're feeling with all of this once you find out. And you may know right away what's the right thing for you, but I really want to normalize if you don't. That's okay, and that makes sense too. Like I said, it's a very complicated situation, much more so than people looking in think. So the decision you come to may be to stay and do the work together, and the decision might be to leave. Either way, when you've taken the time to really think about it and decide what you need and what you're wanting, the decision will be yours. And it'll be something that you can live with. If you're in this situation right now, whether you just found out or you've been sitting with this for months, I made something that might be able to help you start to sort through some of this on your own. It's a free guide with 3 questions, nothing complicated, just 3 questions that are designed to help you reconnect with what's really going on with you and help you be able to move forward in making this decision. Most women tell me that just writing down the answers will shift something. The link is in the description below. No pressure and no agenda, as always. Just a starting point for you. And if you want to keep going from here, the next video in this series is about the other reason that women find themselves asking this question, should I stay or should I go? But it's a slower, more quiet kind where nothing dramatic happens, and you can't even really explain why you're unhappy, but you definitely are. So that one's next. I'll see you there. Hey, if this was helpful for you at all, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. It really helps other people be able to find these videos.